If it hurts, the breaks will get you, don't let us put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, sides, through the games after this win it. Press you again, we're here for the first minute. Carry everybody, keep it there for 6 minutes.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
The culture that Hype and everyone has created in this building, it's been phenomenal on teams, and we're only going to continue to be better. And the standard around here, I've said it before, I'll say it again, standards to be the damn best. And we're never stopping.
Consistent competitors, elite competitors. You're the same guy every single day, no matter who's in the stands. Everybody 102,000 or nobody. Opponents nameless, it's faceless. Being consistent in the way that we approach the game. We had a good start to the football game.
Doesn't have to be perfect, ain't gonna be perfect. We go compete for 60 freaking minutes. All right, enjoy the opportunity, enjoy the environment, and then go play our butts off, play for one another, and have a hell of a lot of fun. Everybody got me?
Yes,
all right.
You know, I know what I came here to do, and you know, it's my job to go and get that done.
We've got to raise the bar, and we've got to continue to raise the bar. I don't think any of those young men, when they signed to come to Tennessee, they signed to say they wanted to come and be a part of a 7-6 program. All right, they said they wanted to come and compete for championships, SEC championships, national championships. I know that's what I want. I know that's what Tennessee wants. I know that's what the expectation is. So we've got to continue to reassess everything that we're doing and make sure that we're continuing to move the needle in the right direction.
But you know what? Let's talk a little Vols. That is not me trying to take any shine away from the phenomenal channel Talkin VAWLS and my guy Boogie Bentley runs, so shout out to them. But let's talk a little Vols here.
Wednesday evening. Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. He's Coach Jay. Dobber's in the house. Coach Rice is here. The X Factor is here. We got a fun freaking show tonight, man. We're going to have church. We're going to have church up in here tonight. Y'all about to get a sermon. Y'all about to get a sermon. I've been preaching all week long, and I ain't done yet. You know, when you're looking at your watch, you're like, it is 12:15. Pastor, can you wrap it up? Guess what? We about to have revival up in here because we're going till 2, maybe 3 o'clock. Y'all gonna get up and leave the church. Y'all gonna go down the street to the Methodist church because they get out by 11:55. You can be the first one at Captain D's getting some nice fried fish on a Sunday afternoon because we about to have some church service up in here. Coach Jay, what's going on, brother?
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good, feeling wily. Got a fun game week in front of me, so I'm I'm pumped up about that. Good to be on a bye week. Good to be 5th in the country. Good for Tennessee to be where Tennessee is, right? And feeling good. Feeling good. How you feeling, Dauber? That change of pick worked out in the old Dobbs' favor.
Yeah.
Look at that shirt. Look at that shirt he's got on. He's like, I went on vacation. Dauber's that guy that he got his Christmas present. He shows up first day back to school, got that brand new shirt on.
Hey, man, I'm in recovery mode still.
Fair enough.
It was a long 4 days of music and food and beverages and lots of fun. I did here. Let me see.
Oh, is he trying to figure out how to share his screen for the first time? We've been doing this for 8 years.
Let's see.
Watch out. Can he do it?
Man, we are completely off the rails. The intro,
Can
we're
Dauber do
boomering it up. You saw how that boomer worked out for the Sooner. Oh, wow. We about to just skip right over Dauber.
I don't know.
To skip right over.
I don't know. I don't think he's got it.
About Captain D's and his favorite.
He's fumbling.
There you go.
Looks like, oh.
Yeah, he has no idea how to share his screen.
No.
Dauber took off like Squirrel White taking off on that kickoff.
No, I got it.
5-yard line.
I got it. There we go.
I have a feeling this is going to be like him breaking down the running back. It's going to be the most anticlimatical thing of all time.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he saw little Morgan Wallen. Wait, is that
out.
Morgan Wallen? You
Zach
made me
Bryan.
think you did something special.
Zach Bryan watching the ball game.
You know why he took this picture? He said, Boogie, you'll yell at me if I don't watch the game, so I got to make sure I got proof.
That's true.
Oh, Zach Bryan. How was Zach Bryan? Zach Bryan's the man.
Oh man, he killed it. Good stuff. Tyler Childers closed it out Sunday.
Another good one.
It was all good.
Coach Rice.
What's up?
We're going to get your rewatch here in just a little bit, but how is life treating you down there in the bottom left corner, my friend?
Man, hey, it's going pretty good, man. You know, Tennessee's 5-0.
4-0, Coach. Don't skip a week now.
Yeah, 4-0. Yeah. Well, hey, you can't ever lose on the bye week. So, got my baby girl right behind me. You know, living life right and getting ready to throw down some food right after we get off of here because my stomach has been growling all afternoon. So
talking food sounds good to me.
Hell yeah! I mean, I'm always down to talk food, but
X Factor, what's your go-to order? What's your go-to order at Captain D's? Tell me you've been to Captain D's.
Yes, I've been to Captain D's, but I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm not a big seafood guy. I'm not a big seafood guy. So Captain D's,
X him out. No, I'm playing.
Kick him out.
Yeah. Nah. I say not a seafood guy. But man, I'll tell you one thing. It feels great to be a Tennessee Volunteer. I will say that. Got that big dub on the road. You know, got that dub for Coach Hype, especially and I'll be honest, I love that video. I probably rewatched that locker room video at least like 5 different times because that just showed how much, like, even though he didn't want to come out to really say it, but like he wanted that dub. Like, you know, the whole backstory of him at Oklahoma and everything that went down, that was just a very special moment in that locker room, I will say. But yeah, man, feels great to be a Tennessee Volunteer. Got the dub, chilling on a bye week. And I'll tell you right now, I hate to be a Georgia Bulldog fan or a Bama fan coming up this Saturday. Watch them beat the brakes off each other. Like I said, so it's a fun time.
I'm reading a super chat and looking at stats. All right, let's go on. Is it a good time to be a Tennessee Vol fan? Some people don't think so. We're going to look, the haters, the doubters, and everything in between. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. Ooh, Boogie's a troll with the title of the video, of the live stream. Lil Spooky, been a member for 22 months. Shout out, Lil Spooky. We appreciate you. Rip for 5, says GBO. We are getting more respect from the media from I Am Seeing. Yeah, Cole Kubelik loves him some Vols. Who else? Who else loves some Vols? J.D. Pikel's high on Tennessee. Aaron Murray's high on Tennessee. Colin Coward. We're going to play a clip from him coming up. Coach Jay, I bet you love some Colin Coward, don't you?
You know what? Not really. No.
Really? Oh,
no,
he's a
not
West
really.
Coast guy. Like, I used to go out to my car back in the day working the 9 to 5, and I always listened to him on my lunch break. I love him. But it's like, even this video, what he said about Tennessee, I'm like, oh, I'm going to check this out. 3 minutes in, he's talking about USC.
I think I'm more like from the Jim Rome side of town and the
Oh, gag.
Petros and really what everyone really listens to in LA is a show called Petros and Money, and that's what's up right there for anyone from the LA area or who lived out here for any amount of time probably can tell you about Petros and Money. Good dudes, awesome dudes. Yeah.
I just thought because he immediately starts talking USC, even though he put Tennessee in the title. I'm like, I bet Coach Jay, because he always, man, it didn't matter if it was baseball, football, always talked about the West Coast. But I like Colin Cowherd. Will Dyer for 5 says, Dorfy, he argued with me 15 minutes leading up to the show, but he dropped that Dorfy. We can agree to disagree. Joey Carroll drops a $5 super chat, says Dorfy and no commercial fees. Yeah, we don't play ads around here. Sean, don't do this stuff to me. I appreciate the super chat. Don't do that stuff to me. John Watts for 5 says, Dorfy, we appreciate you, brother. Captain Woodland for 2, that song fires me up. I'm here for a good time, man. We're demonetized 2 minutes into the stream, but it's worth it to have a good time. Adrian Wells been a member for 18 months. Ryan for 22 months. We appreciate you guys. Adrian drops a 5 spot. Agree or disagree? Squirrel White has been a disappointment so far this season. Do y'all think Mike Matthews should have started over him? Well, if you go back, man, preseason, Coach Rice, Jason Swain was saying that Chaz Nimrod was pushing Squirrel White. But then let's go by what Coach Jay kind of talked about early in the year, that Nico likes to spread the ball around. Dante Thornton, 7 receptions. Brew McCoy, 12. Chris Brazel, 11. Squirrel, 8. Look at your tight ends. Holden Stace, 6. Miles Kitselman, 4. Ethan Davis, 5. Everybody getting the love, so nobody's really standing out. I don't think Squirrel's been a disappointment. Do you?
No, I don't. I really, he's doing his job. I really think it's like you said, Nico's kind of spreading the wealth. And when you rotate guys like they're rotating, you're going to see a drop in numbers because you just don't get that many reps. Now, I think Brew and Dante are getting the big play, because the way defenses have played us. But y'all don't give up on Squirrel yet. He's going to have his game. I can go ahead and tell you, there'll be a game where he'll go over 100 yards, catch a couple big plays, and there'll also be a game where, one of these guys, maybe not Squirrel, but one of these guys will get 9 or 10 catches. Even though Nico likes to spread the wealth, it's all about matchups. And, there's some games where the ball just finds a guy because of matchups. And so, guys, don't give up on any of our skill guys. They got all the talent in the world. Just let the boss man who delivers that rock give it to them, and we'll be happy.
Yes, what you do for a game.
Hold on, bump the brakes. Let me get through the super chats. Jeff Clabo for 5. He just says G. I think you forgot the B and the O. G.
What's up, G?
What up, G?
See what happens, Jeff? Jeff, you normally come in here and say Vol World Order. You try to change it up. You try to mix it up, and everything fails. Shout out, Jeff. We appreciate you. Wade Rouse for 5 says, Captain D's, y'all come visit me on the Gulf Coast. I'll take y'all to get some good seafood. Great to be a Vol and to see Hype win differently. Now's probably the time to announce Wade actually won the free shirt. So, Wade, hit me up on Facebook. We said Sunday night, we picked up a bunch of new members. We said we were going to give away a free shirt, and then Coach Jay took advantage of me and taught me into giving away a free shirt to a member every month. So keep those memberships coming in. We're going to give away a free shirt to a member every single month. Wade just so happened to win this month as he drops the $5 super chat. Shout out, Wade. We appreciate you. Bass Fisher 6 becomes a member of the chat. Should we do it again, Coach Jay?
Do it again.
You think we can get 25 members on a Wednesday night? I doubt it. Bass Fisher becomes a member of the channel. The Dudes 1 2 3 4. Is that your password? 1 2 3 4 5 becomes a member of the channel. Shout out to both of you. That's 3. That's 3 new members we've got tonight on tonight's stream. We're going to say 25. We got to get 25 new members. If we do, we'll give away a second free T-shirt. Why not? I feel like we should do this in honor of JP. All right. I know everybody's got opinions, but we got to stay on track here. Because we got a lot to get to. Tyler Maxwell for 5 says, almost put an Ole Miss fan in a headlock. But Heupel and these coaches have a different culture than what's in the rest of the country. GBO Natty Time. Shout out, Tyler. We appreciate the super chat. We're going to talk about the culture at Tennessee coming up here in just a little bit. But I wanted to open up with this guy. Oh, my gosh, I've got so many tabs open. Where is it? Let's see if I can find it. Y'all bear with me. There it is. I got it. I found it. I want to talk about the first 4 weeks of the season. Again, Tennessee's 4-0. And maybe I sound aggressive. Maybe I'm preaching. I said it in 2022. Dang it. Sit back and enjoy this. Enjoy it. But I feel like so many people are not enjoying this ride in 2024. All they are doing is griping and complaining and finding something to nitpick about. Will, I love you. You're here all the time, man. You show up, you show out, you show love. Are we really going to pick and choose? Oh, we've not scored twice in the red zone in 4 games. In 4 games, we're 22 of 24 in the red zone. That's a problem. If the defense don't show up, we're losing. Let's pump the brakes and enjoy the ride. We beat a top 15 team. Let's listen to Colin Cowherd.
Those 2 teams aren't the best teams in the SEC. I'm going to call it right now. Tennessee is going to win the national championship. Wow. I came on this show before the Oklahoma game.
Like
and I
better
said
now.
Oklahoma they're not going to score. Tennessee's got the best defense in college football. Excellent coach. Explosive offensively. I think Tennessee's the best team I've seen. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
You could have paused. I mean, you could have thought about it.
There's not a pause. They are.
So Joel Klatt goes on, and he had some arguments, and let's see. Look, I took some notes on what he had to say. He basically just talked about inexperience at quarterback, right? Nico being young, says he still makes some young mistakes. He talked about Michigan when they won the national championship, had the 14th best roster according to the composite. Tennessee has the 16th best roster. Doesn't think they have enough talent. But Dauber, what are your thoughts through 4 weeks here? Is Tennessee a national championship contender?
I mean, they certainly passed the eye test, and as we said at the top of the show, there's a lot of national recognition, national praises being sung. And we're frankly not used to hearing that. I think the difference to me this year with this Tennessee team, you've seen with Josh Heupel, they're going to score points. You've got an efficient quarterback. And listen, I was going to make a point earlier about the wide receivers. Why are we, focuses on 1 or 2? It's a good thing to have the ball getting passed around, and defenses can't zero in on one guy. They can't isolate and take somebody out of the game because it's pick your poison with this offense. And we've seen Coach Heupel, he schemes it up. He puts in those mismatches, and then they spread the field, and then they run tempo, and they create just chaos for an opposing defense. They're going to put up their points. The difference this year is our defense. We finally got depth. We've entering the season, the back end was a question for me. It was an unknown. I tell you, we got some dudes back there in the back end lurking and ready to lay the lumber.
Go ahead and say it, Boogie. You were right about Jacoby Thomas. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead.
I'll
wait.
They got some guys. Linebacker play is better, and that defensive front is just top shelf. I think that is the difference in this Tennessee team. Football is football. There are going to be weeks when you stumble and the offense isn't going to look great. But now we've got that defense, and the defense can carry us, but you win a football game playing all 3 phases. It's not just the offense. It's not just the defense. You throw special teams in there too. And, I think this team, this coaching staff, there's something different about them.
I was going to talk about some just what you guys your honest opinions, right? We're all diehard Vol fans. We look through orange tinted glasses, but talking about the title of the stream, haters, doubters, everything in between. Our own fan base almost hates on this team and doubts this team, and we've not played anybody. All that type of nonsense. I saw so many people on Facebook say, "Shut up with this stuff. We've not played anybody." One guy told me that there's 5 teams left on the schedule that Tennessee could possibly lose to. Excuse me, sir. Josh Pate, they beat a quarterbackless Oklahoma. Coach Rice, we're not going to get into the Oklahoma game yet, but what do you think when somebody's like, all the Pate State Freights attacked me over my video because I was pointing out Josh Pate said quarterbackless Oklahoma, and they're like, "Oh, he praised Tennessee after that." Yeah, but when you start the sentence, it'd be like me saying, Coach Rice, he really don't know that much about football. He knows a little bit about offense, but he doesn't really grasp the game of football. And then I go on to talk about how great you are. what are you going to remember? You're going to remember that first phrase.
Yeah.
I can't insult you and then
Yeah.
praise you. So, but like, what do you truly think about this football team through four games?
I think it's a national championship contender. I mean, obviously there's some pieces things we got to clean up. We got to improve week to week, like Coach Heupel says. I know that's just coach talk, but you know, all the pieces are there. The defense, it's like Dauber said, we're a three-phase team, and we got all three. We got special teams has looked really good. Our punter. He had his best game the other night. I mean, booming the ball down the field. We got an elite kicker who just came out of nowhere and has got a massive leg on him. And then defense, we've all seen the talk and the word about the defense, and we've seen it with our own eyes how elite they are. And I think they can keep improving with every rep they get. And then the offense, with every rep that Nico gets, he's going to get better and better and better. And the biggest key to all of it is the offensive line's health. Like we have that we're a national championship contender, willing and able to go win a national championship. But it all depends on our two offensive tackles. If we don't have our two offensive tackles, I said it the other night, 9-3 and 10-2 are realistic possibilities because the depth there is just one of the places that we just don't have yet. Now, next year, that will gradually keep getting better because Coach Heupel and staff has been recruiting, and I think we'll go get a portal guy. But, it's just to the point where, yes, we're a national championship contender. This roster is there. You got the coaching staff, and Coach Heupel, he's maturing. So he was new to being a head coach, even when he got hired on at Tennessee. He's learning how to head coach a national championship team, and we're on the right path.
Yeah, I'll jump in really quick, maybe. It's easy to armchair quarterback, right? Hindsight's 20/20, all that good stuff, right? And listen, you can lose any game. First of all, number one, right? Like that can happen if you're not minding your P's and Q's. And football's a very serious, violent sport that people die in every year. I've seen a kid die on the field, literally watched a kid freaking die on the field. It sucks. It's sad. So when people sometimes say, it's not that serious, yeah, it's kind of serious, actually. People get severely injured.
Yep.
People die. People like Inky Johnson get hurt, and it changes their life. And, people get CTE and shoot themselves in the head later, like Junior Seau. So, treat football seriously. It's a serious, violent game, and show it some respect. Don't just sit there and sit back in your armchair and say, the blah, 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 blah. It's not perfect. These guys are clowns. Look, every game's different. Every game's a challenge. And a lot of times you have revisionist history too. I mean, I was talking in the back room. I mean, go back, think about it for a second. Hendon Hooker fumbled and threw interceptions against Tennessee Tech, guys. Tennessee Tech. Like, I could go over it. There's a whole YouTube it. I'll post it later. Hendon Hooker lowlight videos, right? Like, you'll see it. It's murdered throughout the field of F-ups, right? But it's how a system runs. It's how smooth and how you're able to affect a game throughout 4 quarters, and it's not perfect. Listen to Hype. Boogie plays it all the time. It's not always going to be perfect. It don't have to be. It's not going to be. It's impossible to be. So don't just sit here and think, oh, well, I'm much smarter than that. I wouldn't have done that. Or, da-da-da-da-da. No, you wouldn't have. You would have sat your fat butt on the couch and ate a potato chip, is what you would have done. So shut up and stay off your keyboard and enjoy the ride. That's all.
And,
hold on, and then we'll throw it to X. I think that is my biggest pet peeve is people attack these players and they criticize these players, and then when they're gone, they look back and said, "Man, I wish we had Casey Clausen back." You know how much hate that kid took coming in here from California? That dude was a stone cold killer. Now they call him the Iceman. They talk the Gator Killer. They love him. They hated that guy when he was here. Eric Ainge took all the hate. Like so many of these.
I called him the Worm Killer when he was at Tennessee. I hated him when he was here. But I was, truth be told, I was a little salty because Casey used to light me up in 7-on-7 passing leagues. So that's a separate story for a separate.
I bet you slow. You slow out there.
I look like I was in quicksand, guys. That ball was a zipping by Coach J's head, and he was like, "Damn, who is this flat top Val Kilmer looking kid from Oaks Christian?"
But I just think that's what people do. No, I'm never. God, Will is hard in the paint on me tonight. Like he is just going to disagree with everything I say. I'm never going to look back at Milton and say, "Man, what a great quarterback. He was okay." Statistically, numbers-wise, Milton was okay. He's an NFL draft pick. He wasn't elite. He wasn't a Casey Clausen. He wasn't a stone-cold killer. Name one game that Joe Milton went out and won. He didn't. He didn't do it. I'm never going to look back and say, "Man, Joe Milton was a freaking legend of Tennessee football." No, he wasn't. He wasn't. He was the middleman between two legends. That's it. That's it. Sorry, X. Go ahead. I told John. I'm fired up.
No, you're good. Well, no, you good, Boog. And actually, I'll just kind of piggyback off what you said. I mean, like I said, I sent the clip, to Boogie, and I'm sure, I don't know, like in the chat, I don't know if you guys seen the show that's on YouTube right now, but it's the Players Lounge. It's Dante Thornton, Caleb Webb. They get their teammates. Show. It really is. They actually had some really good talking points. And Caleb Webb, he brought up a good point where he was saying that, players getting booed on their home field. And he even said it. He was like, "Man," he said, "I can't just imagine walking into Neyland Stadium and let's just say if the whole team plays bad, Nico throws an interception or Caleb Webb, drops a pass or anything, and we start booing them." Then he said that just changes my whole perspective of the fan base. And that's how you get players to transfer out, go to like Alabama's, Georgia's, wherever else they want to go play. And that's just not cool, man. It's the same situation what happened with Kamal Hadden of last season. Because everybody, like when they showed his name across the Jumbotron, everybody wanted to boot him. But you seen how he balled out last season. Now all of a sudden everybody's like, "Oh, he was our real good defensive player. This and that." So that's what I'm saying, guys. And I get it. Like, I think what it is, like, where some of the haters, some of the doubters, it's just batter ball syndrome. Dauber said it earlier. We're not used to being this big in the national media right now. Like, we're just not. We've been down in the dumps for literally 20 years. And I get it, because me and Coach Rice, we didn't get to see the glory days of Tennessee when they were, the Alabama and the Georgia time. These three guys above us are spoiled, so me and Coach don't know what it's like to experience that. So, but guys, I mean, just, have faith in Josh Heupel, this coaching staff. This team is awesome. It's really, really fun to watch. And Nico, like I said, Nico didn't play bad. He really didn't play bad. Just Oklahoma had a good defense, and we've known that to this game.
His Heisman odds went down, actually. After that game, they got closer to winning it, not further away from it after the Oklahoma game. And I don't really think it's a fair thing to say we haven't criticized. I've criticized Nico. I thought it was going to be a coming out party for Nico against Oklahoma. I said it after the game that I believed I was wrong about that. But what I won't do is I won't criticize him for perceived mistakes that are just low IQ football watchers who don't understand when someone's made a mistake and when they haven't. He made mistakes in that Oklahoma game. I think I have in my note right here. Yeah. Nico, 6 mistakes I counted throughout that Oklahoma game. The 2 fumbles aren't on there. And that's my only thing. I'm not going to call a football player out for a mistake because other people don't understand ball. I'm going to call them out for reasons that are real and valid. But Joe was a different problem to me. So if that's the comparison we want to make, the biggest thing I can say that's bad about you in football, I don't know about you, Coach Rice, but for me, the biggest insult I can give a football player is they can't line up.
Yeah.
They can't line up and play football. Joe Milton couldn't line this team up to play football.
Yeah.
Full stop. Full stop. That's out of coach's mouth, my mouth, not Coach.
But what did I say
Coach
early?
Jay, Coach
what did I say early in the
That's
year?
out of Coach Heupel's mouth.
When they
That's
came
not
off
out
of a
my
kickoff.
mouth.
We sat here and crucified Joe Milton for coming out of a kickoff and getting either having to use a timeout or get a delay game. The first time Nico did it, I said, all right, what's going on here? Why are we doing this? You're coming off a kickoff. Get lined up. Get ready to play ball. It is what it is. But I also we got to get off this because I'm letting one person in the chat drive my anger because it's stupidity.
I love that Will. I love that Will creates the
no.
conversation. Though I hope he knows that. Like I like good conversation, and I like people who will challenge other people's views. So I don't want Will to think that, at least for me, that I don't like that. I do like that so that I can try to bounce things off people and get them to understand. Sorry.
We're closing the door with this right here. I'm not comparing Joe to Nico. You were, and one was a 6-year senior. He was 35 years old, and he freaking got health insurance because he's so old. The other one is a freshman, and you're comparing the two. You want him to be better than Hendon or whoever. But you said you're comparing the talk of the offense when Joe was there and now when it looked the same in our game, in my opinion. It did not look the same. How many points per game? The lowest in Josh Heupel's coaching tenure. There are some eye-blistering statistics how far the numbers dropped off under Joe. You want to talk about offense? You want to talk about offense this year that you're so upset about? You're saying we're not going to win games because of the offense? Number 2 in the country in scoring offense, 54 points a game. Coach Rice had the confidence it's going to be higher than 2022. Right now, he's right. Number 4 in the country in total offense, 565.8 yards per game. You want to talk about red zone inefficiencies? 91%. They've scored 22 out of 24 times. I'm closing the door. It's a crazy argument. I don't we're just going to agree to disagree and not hijack the show.
Team.
That's fair. That's fair, though. Like, we can agree to disagree.
Yeah, I don't think you're ever going to see where I'm coming from. And I mean,
Will and Gary over here. No, I'm just kidding. Love you, Gary. Love you, Gary.
You know how I know I'm on the right side of history because people have called me a Joe hater and a Joe defender. So clearly I'm somewhere in the middle and I'm doing things right. All right, let's. Let me read some super chats here. Wade for 2 says, "Finally, I won something. Now I can't say I haven't. Congratulations, Wade." MG Wade for 5, having some hurricane beers tonight. You got any for me, MG Wade? I need some. I need some tonight. Thank you, MG Wade, for the super chat. Yeah, like Dauber said, stay safe, my friend. Christopher Wells for 2. Brent ruined a 5-star quarterback. Heupel protected one. Brent
Venables.
Venables.
Yeah. No, Tim Banks ruined that quarterback. Tim Banks ruined that quarterback. Rip drops a 20 spot. That's Orange Boy. We appreciate it. We got demonetized. We need all the 20 spots.
Rocky Top!
Rip says, "Buck the doubters. GBO win each week. Every time we win. Rip, every time we win." They just come up with another excuse. You know, people are praising me, Coach Jay, because I said, you keep making excuses, we'll keep winning ball games. People are putting that in quotes and then saying Boogie Bentley. Like, that's my quote that I stole directly from your mouth.
That's right. That's right, baby.
I love it. I'm sweating. Y'all hot? Let's pump the we got to get away from it.
You've been amped up, Boogie. I'm not sweating. I'm fine.
I've been amped up all week, Coach Rice. Every video I'm yelling at somebody. Every video.
Turning to Coach Rice this week.
Yeah. Hey, it's the bye week. I'm vibing now.
I'm not cussing. I don't think I've cussed anybody yet. Let's change gears. Let's talk about a hot topic. That's this right here. Woo-wee. This is I wasn't going to talk about this. This is Sports Talk Jay's Avenue. But I think it's worth talking about because of culture. So UNLV quarterback says he's done. He says, "I'm going to use my redshirt year and will not be playing in any additional games this season. I committed to UNLV based on a certain representations that were made to me, which were not upheld after I enrolled. Despite discussions, it became clear that these commitments would not be filled in the future. I wish my teammates the best of luck this season and hope for the continued success of the program." So this is UNLV's quarterback. They're 3-0. They just cracked the top 25 in the coaches poll. I think it's comical, and Cole Kubelik pointed this out. these guys aren't dumb. They're jumping in before those 4 games are played, and they don't use that red. They don't lose that red shirt year. So he's jumping in to make sure he gets out of Dodge. This kid's dad told ESPN that his son's agent agreed to an NIL deal with the school back in February, never received payments despite requests, and never asked for any adjustments to the original deal. The dad says, in quotes, "We have no idea what the hell happened." Now let's take it another step here. I want to pull this up as well. This came out on Twitter shortly after. Says all financial commitments for UNLV quarterback Matthew Sluka were completely met. But after wins against Kansas and Houston, his family hired an agent, and they collectively feel that his market value has increased, per a source. So the rumor was, I think, $100,000 for him to transfer to UNLV. They go out, they go 3-0, and it's not like he's setting record-breaking numbers. I mean, he's playing decent football. Well, I think I have it pulled up here. Maybe I don't. I guess I don't have it pulled up. Playing decent football. They're undefeated. X. Is this the age of is this college football now? Is this college football? We're going to jump out? We're going to quit mid-season? Red shirt?
Hey, brother, we've been preaching it, the whole time we've been doing Talking Balls together. Yeah, man, it's the new age of college football, man. It's basically just turned into like a mini NFL. I mean, like you hate to see it, you really do, because it's kind of just like, oh, I really don't want to play here anymore. So you have to hire an agent just to get you out of your contract or your commitment to this team to go play somewhere else. But yeah, honestly, with me, yeah, I don't agree with it, man. It's like Boogie, like what you said. Like, listen, I was raised to finish what I started, and for these, these captains, these quarterbacks or players of whoever team to say, I ride and die for my team and this and that and blah blah blah, and then that's cool. But then, yet when that money bag flashes in front of your face, you're gonna be like, all right, I'm getting out of here. Like, I get it. I mean, like I said, I'm glad that NIL is here. I'm glad that these players are getting paid, but there needs to be some kind of control of the situation. Like, I feel like that if you commit to a team, you have to sign a contract to where you play through the whole season. Like, whether you're, freshman, sophomore, senior, whatever it may be, you got to sign a contract to say, okay, so I'm committed to this university only. And then, of course, if your senior year comes up, and then, like, of course, you have the choice to whether you want to come back or go to the league, whatever it may be. Then that's where I feel like your agent should come in and stuff. But no, but for your agent to come in to say, oh, he's gonna go somewhere else. We just paid him a bag. Nah, man.
But
That got to be a better way to handle this.
But X, that goes both ways. I mean, if you say you're going to commit to a school, and knowing all these negotiations of everything that they've talked about, not just playing time and grades and all that, which I still is the most important thing as far as me from my side of it, the coaching side of it, and the program side of it. But at the same time. But at the same time, what Coach Jay just did, you didn't promise. I'm like an employer. You promised me pay, and now you're not going to pay me. So what do you expect me to do? Just sit there and keep going without pay? I mean, I get both sides of it, and if this was a player for Tennessee, like, we'd be super pissed at that player. But at the same time, if Tennessee had promised him an NIL contract promise that, say, you get $5,000 for doing this, advertising this or, doing something in the game, and he doesn't get that money, what do you expect him to do at that point? So I get him doing what he did, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate on it, because at the same time, he has to, do what's right for him as well. Even if that means, kicking the curb on his teammates. The only reason why I come here for some guys, I'm not going to say it's everybody, because it's not. We've had conversations with multiple players that NIL is not everything to them. But there is some players that the only reason why they choose to go to a school is because they agreed to a contract, NIL contract, that gives them this, and this, especially if they perform to this, and this.
But let's talk about the flip side of that, though, Dauber. Like this guy saying that UNLV, all the financial commitments were met, but this kid goes out, they're 3-0. He's putting up some decent numbers. Somebody said Auburn's burner phone was going off. We need a quarterback. We're going to hit you up. Yeah. So you jumping in the portal, you done. I'm going to sit out, and I'm going to take this money from over here.
So, it's the next step from the conversation we've had the last couple of years. Guys sitting out bowl games, guys sitting out at the end of the season, guys, it's just a continuation, the next step of that. And then I'll say I'm thankful that Coach Heupel and staff and the collective with Spire at Tennessee, they've been ahead of the game. They've been up front. They've got, and I think maybe this will possibly segue into, you said we're going to talk about culture in just a little bit. I think the culture and the fit and character of the kids that are being brought into Tennessee is different.
Let's. It's the perfect segue because that's I wanted to bring that up because it's a good talking point with NIL, and there's two sides to the story there, which makes it interesting. I played the clip from J.D. Pickell in 2 different videos yesterday. I made 2 videos yesterday. Both videos played the same dang clip from J.D. Pickell because he was talking about what went on in the locker room after that Oklahoma game. I'm going to play it again for like the 17th time on this channel, so you guys sit back, crack open a beer, 400 of you watching, smash the thumbs up while you watch this.
Winning on the road's tough. Winning on the road against a good football team's tough. They're good. Okay? We're going to continue to face better as we go. Played well tonight. Anybody think we played our best tonight? No. Good teams keep getting better. Keep getting better. I'm proud of the investment, the competitive composure, resetting to the next play, continuing to compete. Man, it's just us being us, all right? And let's just keep making us a better version every single day. You guys got me?
Yes, sir.
All right. This thing, coming back to normal, was never about me. It was not. But I appreciate you all having a little extra for me. I do. I love you guys, and I really mean that.
We love you, Coach.
I know. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of how we've grown. Damn, our best is still out in front of us. We got
Hell yeah.
One day at a time to just keep getting better. You guys got me?
Yes, sir.
All right, I love it. Bow your heads, grab 2.
Yo. Hey, we did that for you, Coach. This game ball for you.
I want to segue that into the NIL talk. MG Way here is just going to make my point for me. He says, we can have the greatest culture ever, but our kids aren't playing for free. No, they're not. And that was J.D. Pickell's point was you got to have talent, but when talent meets talent and you've got the right culture, the culture is going to win every time. They're going to win every time. And that's what Josh Heupel has done. And that's what that video, that's why I want to play it as much as possible because it shows what he has done. We can sit here and we can talk about it. And we can throw buzzwords around. We can say family and culture and this and that. You are seeing it live in the flesh. And I remember at some point in that first year when Heupel was hired, I was like, we got to stop talking about it. It just is what it is. This is what Josh Heupel has created. Like it was – I didn't know we had the guy, but when I heard him talk and say, I came in, I met with the guys, and I sat down and I said, what do you need from me? That's what a leader does, man. And I've worked for so many terrible bosses. These 4 guys work for the worst boss on the face of the earth. I don't ever come in and say, guys, what do you need from me? I said, this is what I need you to do. Coach Jay, I need you to do this. Coach Rice, I need you to do this. Dauber and X, they just show up whenever they want. I'm just kidding. Kinda. No, for real. Like that's what a legitimate boss does. They come in and say, "What do you need from me?" So Coach Heupel was kind of asked about this during the SEC teleconference. What can programs do in the NIL era to have safeguards with players? He says, "Yeah, I'm not sure there's any real safeguards. I'm not familiar with what happened at UNLV, the situation that you're talking about, so it's hard for me to comment on that piece of it." And then it goes on. They ask him about keeping a team intact in the NIL era. He says, yeah, NIL is certainly a component of today's world and landscape of collegiate athletes, not just football. And at the end of the day, it's really important that you have the right people in the building that care about their teammates, the guys around them, and love competing. Coach Jay, unpack that, because look, there's a lot of – look, we'll just talk about it. We've talked about it before. There's a lot of buzz on social media about Lance Hurd saying, I'm not playing because I'm banged up and I don't want to put bad film out there. I don't want to risk injury. And he was told to stay home. Was that what happened? I don't know. It's what's on Twitter. He's going to be suited up, ready to go for Arkansas. So Coach Heupel is dealing with these same things, Coach Jay. Talk on that. Talk on culture.
Yeah, it's hard to unpack when an injury is involved. So it's hard to get into Hurd because it's hard to know how injured he was, how injured he wasn't, even though if he was clear, seems like he was cleared by team doctors, but maybe he was cleared and not 100%. What we talk about the program all the time, right? Maybe he was hurt and felt like he wasn't injured, but he was hurt. And maybe he didn't want to play hurt against top talent and put bad film out and all that and affect his draft. I don't like that as a coach. I would have probably told him to stay home too if this is what happened. We're being a little, we're speculating. But if that's the case, then I would have told him to stay home too, right? But it's just a little different with the injury involved. Now, I don't know all the circumstances of the UNLV guy either. Like, I don't know if he got paid, didn't get paid. Kind of posted an armchair quarterback meme to Coach Rice messing around. But I hadn't even read the story, to be honest, other than the little tidbit that Coach Rice posted. So I'm not sure. But it feels like there's a lot of buy-in at Tennessee, and well, there just is. Like, look at it. Like, you can't. Piquel said it. You can't fake it, right? It's in their voices when they say yes, sir, to them when they answer them. In the "I love you too, coach. We love you too, coach." You can just hear it. It's in their tone. It's written all over it that it's authentic. And are they making money? Sure, but everyone's making money right now, right? You got to have the right kind of personalities too. And shameless plug here, if you haven't seen some of these player interviews that we've done with these recruits that Heupel's bringing in, go watch the dang things. These kids are good dudes. Great dudes. And maybe I'm wrong, but I just get the feeling like if they did feel like they were worth more money, they wouldn't leave their team high and dry. They would negotiate when it's the proper time to negotiate. Now, being shorted pay, that's something a little bit different too, and something that we need to get the league needs to get their head around, the rules around, not being able to sign a contract and stiff these kids and leave them high and dry, right? Because that's not right either. And you can't blame a kid if he was, promised $100,000 and got $3,000, and now all of a sudden he's got the marker down at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino from his blackjack and Deja Vu, Gentleman's Club, and Bambi wants her money, and all of a sudden he can't pay Bambi, and he's got to give up his Rolex and all kinds of other
but
stuff.
do you expect the NCAA to really take over and have the best interest of these student athletes?
No.
Because have they shown a history of that?
No. And there's no easy fix other than to make sure your own house is pristine and clean.
And that is what Coach Heupel
and that's why we have the best NIL, best team, best collective. That's why the product on the field is reflecting it, is because we have done that, in my opinion, second to none. Right? Like, it's obvious our checks aren't bouncing. It's obvious our culture is the culture we say it is. All of our checks, whether they be actual money or promises to kids or what we promised them in culture, all those checks, fiscal or not, are cashing for Coach Heupel in Tennessee right now.
Starts with Danny White. That's where it all
Yeah,
starts.
yeah. It starts at the top and goes its way down. So who knows what's going on in UNLV? It's hard to know. But look at the converse when you have a problem. Look at Florida right now. You think it's any mistake right now that Florida's in the doldrums with all the in-state talent that you could have? It's not by chance. I promise you that. It's everything to do with it. I promise.
Let me catch up with you guys in the chat. Jody Wooten's been a member for 33 months. That is a long time, Jody. We appreciate you. Said it's also come out that he got a bigger offer to go somewhere else, and that's why he is doing this. Yeah, there's two sides to the story. He said, she said. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But I thought it was worth the conversation to mix in with the culture at Tennessee. Richard Watkins for $2 says $2 GBO cleanup penalties on the offense. I don't know that that's ever going to happen. I think Josh Heupel's teams are always going to be more penalized. You want to clean it up. I think they had 2 pre-snap penalties on offense this past week. That's not that bad. I
thought they've been pretty good as far as penalties go, according to what we've done in the past. Now, Coach is always going to say we got to clean it up more. I mean, but given the way Heupel's offense is and how fast it is, occasionally you're going to have a false start. And those are the ones you can live with, because that's like, even though people say that's not during the field where you're holding, you're just, some coaches will say, all right, I would give you, as long as you're busting your ass and giving your all, like you can do, I'm not going to say you can do a holding, but we will let it slide. Just don't do it again. Type thing where you're busted. It's an effort play. And
right.
So occasionally you're going to have it, but I think as far as the biggest things we got to clean up is first down. We got to be more successful in first down, and we got our touchdown efficiency in the red zone has to be a little better. We're scoring in the red zone. I'm not taking anything away from that.
Coach Ross is afraid I'm going to yell at him.
Yeah, I didn't want you to yell at me.
Yell at him, Boogie. Kick him out.
Get him.
We're leaning, which I love our kicker. Don't get that wrong. But we're leaning a little bit too much on that. And a lot of it is, I think Coach Heupel is trying to, get a feel in some of these games early, especially. So maybe we'll see him get more to where he's being more aggressive as the season goes. But he's also never had a defense like he's had now. So we'll see.
Right, and that's the thing about the Oklahoma game, man. He knew that. We're going to get into that here in just a second. Michael Davis for 2 says that clip gets me teary-eyed every time I see it. I play it as much as I can so you guys will cry. That's the only reason I play it. Dan Yoder for 10. This is what we need. We need more $10 super chats that just say for the bye week. We appreciate that, Dan. We appreciate that. That's because there ain't no love in Oklahoma, too. So we appreciate you. Let's talk about this Oklahoma game. Me and Coach Jay, Coach Rice did the post-game show. Coach Rice did a rewatch, so I'm going to hit him up here in just a second because he hit me up, texted me with some thoughts that he had. We'll get to that in just a second. But, X, you and Dauber haven't been on here yet. What were your thoughts after watching the game on Saturday?
Go ahead, Dauber. You go first.
Hey, listen. There we go. The game, it started a bit slow. Kind of, heavyweights taking swings back and forth. And then we kind of got rolling. It was a dogfight, but I think that the game was never really in doubt. Tennessee controlled the game, really, from jump. 22-3 going into the fourth quarter, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So it was one of those things. I think Heupel saw the way the game was playing out and, saw the field conditions, saw the defense and what the defense was giving, and said, hey, we can win this way. And I think X said it earlier. Or maybe it was somebody in the chat. It's good to see. Coach Jay said, our coach is evolving. He's learning. He is feeling his way how to navigate through coaching a successful team and finding different ways to win.
Let's just play this clip while you're bringing it up, right? Because everybody was complaining and griping in the post game about the play calling on offense. Here's your confirmation. This tweet says, "Do you need any more confirmation about the second half play calling? So you want to talk about red zone efficiencies and we need to score more points and blah 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 blah." This is directly from the horse's mouth, and so you can hear it. He says, "I pulled back a tad just because the way our defense was playing. Hell of a job," he tells Nico. Hell of a job. Let's listen.
I pulled back a tad where our defense was playing. Hell of a job. I pulled back a tad where our defense was playing. Hell of a job.
And look at Nico. What does Nico say? Does he go, "I need more. I need PlayStation numbers." Boogie, people are going to be mad at me in the chat. Boogie, they're going to be mad at me in the chat. Can you please call up Coach Ivan and tell me I need more touchdowns? We need more fan service. We need PlayStation 5 numbers. He says, "Yes, sir," and gives him a big old hug. Nico don't need fan service. Nico don't need Heisman numbers. Nico don't need stats. Nico wants to win. That's what competitors do. There's your confirmation.
It's not about the margin of victory. It's about getting it done. And
then that's just the thing too. Like I said, like Will was saying earlier in the chat, and I get it, bro. Like, you want elite offense. I get that. And Dauber, I think you
wait. What would you define as elite offense, X? Would number 2 in the country in scoring, would that be elite?
Yes, I would say so. Yes,
we're not elite because you got to be number 1. You got to be number 1. I'm sorry. Continue. Wait, we didn't play anybody, X. We didn't play anybody.
Hey,
I need to line up Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State. Who else? Texas. Can we play them the first 4 weeks, please? So I ain't got to read this every freaking week. I'm sorry, X. I'm angry. Go ahead.
You're good.
Please continue.
You're good. But anyway, no, overall, what I thought about the game, to piggyback off what Dauber said, is
sorry, I was stretching.
You're good.
I'm exhausting everybody.
You're good.
Hold on. Wait. Let me read this super chat for 20. It's a 20 spot. I'll play the clip.
Rocky Top!
He says, "Here you go, Coach Rice." I'm put it right in my pocket. He says, "That's what I was trying to say." Hard to say what I'm trying to say. They text while I'm at work. When I'm already having a rough day. Sorry, guys. Definitely not trying to hate on our guy Nico or the team. Will, we're here for the conversation.
Yes.
I'm just a little bit more animated than you. Obviously, we all want them to be better. What I want you guys to do is celebrate the damn victories. We're 4-0. We beat a top 15 team for the first time since 2006 on the road.
On the road.
Like most points scored in modern era, and everybody's like, "Well, it's against State." We're talking about 70-year-long records. I told you guys I'm going to have a heart attack tonight. I'm dying tonight. I'm so sick and tired of not only the national media, our own fan base. Our own fan base is moving the goalposts. They're like, "It's not good enough." Nico, most passing yards in a half. Well, who was he playing, Boogie? I don't care. Those records have stood the test of time. Peyton Manning didn't break him. Hendon Hooker didn't break him. Joe Milton dang sure didn't break him. Sweet Moses. Like, guys, enjoy the ride. I'm sorry, X. I told you it was coming. I've read so many negative comments for a team that's 4-0 and doing things that they've not done in your lifetime, X. They've not done it in your lifetime, and it's not good enough. We got, oh, God, we should have scored every time. I'm sorry.
You're good, brother. Hey, look, you
Coach
guys
Rice,
went to church, right?
Why am I turning into you? I'm turning into Coach Rice. Go ahead.
You need to hop on this bye-week vibes that I'm on right now.
Okay, there
Let me
you
tell
go.
you something, Coach Rice. When you got to make a video every day and you read all the comments, I'm like, bro. And the comments aren't near as bad as Facebook. Facebook, I don't even know if they have TVs to watch freaking college football.
I also worked overtime today, so I'm more slapping.
Or if I said Boogie need to hit up Coach J, Coach J needs to send him some of that medication. You know what I mean?
Oh,
right?
maybe California medication? Maybe.
Yeah, send him some of that medication.
California medication.
Greg says, Boogie, calm down. Take a hit of this. It will chill you out. Y'all tell me to calm down. I just read comments just yesterday that said that I'm not a real fan and that I do this all for money and I'm a grifter, that I've never been a Tennessee fan and that I'm an App State fan. It's like, that's weird. Dauber, I'm pretty sure we did this when there was no Super Chats coming in. So tell me when I'm telling lies.
We sat around and talked with 35, 40 people watching us.
Yeah. On a good night, bro. On a good night. Kevin was in the chat last night. Kevin's like, yeah, that's why every time I looked out the window, you're out there like an idiot pretending to be Andy Kelly. So please tell me more about him not being a Tennessee. Go ahead, X. I've already said that 8 times. Go ahead, X.
All right, I'm gonna just do my quick little segment because I know we gotta keep moving. Overall, man, like Dauber was saying earlier, yeah, the game started out a little slow. There's a few things that we gotta clean up. And Coach said it earlier. Nico made a few mistakes, minus the fumble, obviously. But yeah, guys, man. I mean, look, this is a national. We are a championship contending team, guys, and chill. And I get it. It's Bader-Vol syndrome. I said it earlier. We're getting more spotlight into the national media like Alabama and Georgia, and we're just not used to it. I mean, we're just not, and it's okay to admit that. But just be patient, guys. And then like we said, enjoy this ride, man. Enjoy it like it was back in 22, man. Because I'll be honest, we never saw that coming in 22. 11 wins, like, come on. I never seen that. As me being a Tennessee fan, and Coach Rice could agree with me, I never seen us win 11 games in my lifetime as a Tennessee fan. So with all that being said, guys, just enjoy the ride, man. Enjoy the ride, and quit moving the goalposts. Just enjoy it, man. Enjoy the ride. But other than that, some things we got to clean up. And like I said, defense, we can rely on our defense to win our games. It's not just Nico and the offense, elite offense. And I get it. We want to go fast. We want to score high points, balls by 50. I get all that. But, man, listen, a dub's a dub at the end of the day. So, I mean, yeah, it was not the way how we all wanted it to be. But, man, a dub's a dub. You got to enjoy it. And let's move on to the next one. Like I said, we're going to get another dub in Arkansas.
Dauber, you have any? Let Dauber jump in, and then Coach Rice, I want you to go last with what you saw. Yeah. Dauber, what are your thoughts? Any more thoughts on Oklahoma?
I mean, at the end of the day, there's no such thing as style points. We're not even talking about 15, 20 years ago when polls when running up the score did help you in the polls. Right. It's all different right now. And face it, I mean, we play in the SEC. You go on the road in conference, go on the road against a ranked conference opponent and get a double-digit win at their house. Mm-hmm. And then you want to complain or nitpick about it.
What was that? The first time since 2016 that they had a double-digit loss, and then first time since 2006 since we've won against top 15 on the road.
Yeah, doing things we haven't seen this team do. Since my kids have been alive, and it's good, and it's good to see. Like I said, the thing it did impress me. Heupel, that was not a typical Heupel game. So he is evolving as a coach and showing that he's not just, this team couldn't play from behind. They couldn't play slow a couple of years ago under Heupel. They bogged down, and now you're seeing that evolution. You're seeing. Coach is learning, and he's taking it to the field. And this team, it isn't just their identity is not just the offense anymore. They've got the defense, and I think they've got really, you stack it all up. I think everything is kind of in their corner for a really special season.
And I love that Coach goes to his guy, right? He goes to Nico, and he's like, hey, I know we may have had this planned or that planned. I dialed it back, man. I dialed it back because our defense was playing so good. He has the respect of Nico to say, hey, man, this ain't on you. Don't let this get you down. Don't let this impact your confidence. We did this to ride and live with our defense tonight. That's why we did what we did. I love that. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. Chan RN for 2, just tuning in, late door fee. We appreciate any and all door fees. Matthew Watson for 5 says only reason Oklahoma's quarterback ran on us was because of the prevent D. We're going to shut down Arkansas's running quarterback. Coach Jay hammered that in the post-game show. Hammered it. I brought up the fact that they had 4 drives that went over 4 plays. 2 of those were what Coach Jay was talking about when they went prevent. So, like, this defense dominated. And it doesn't matter if it's the offense or the defense. And guess what? There may be a time in the future where this offense goes and wins us a game. We'll see what happens. Big Trey for 2.
It will happen.
It's going to happen.
Big Trey for 2 says, Boogie is fire. I'm passionate, man. I'm passionate about this football team. I am, man. I think you guys see that. VFL for Life 0626 for 5. Nothing to say, just a tip in the tip jar. We appreciate that as well. We're an hour and 5 minutes in. I knew we weren't going to get to half the stuff I wanted to talk about, but do us a favor if you're still watching, smash the thumbs up, share out this link, let people know we're live. I was doing a membership drive, and I never mentioned it again, so we still need 22 memberships. Probably not going to happen because I didn't do any shilling plugs. I just yelled at the chat and ran half of them off. But if you want to join the channel, think about hitting that join button. You can also go check out our merchandise, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. That link's in the description below, but be careful because if you wear it, somebody might yell at you and say that you're not wearing Tennessee merchandise. That's happened, allegedly. Coach Rice, you did a rewatch. We crucified the offensive line post-game show. You did a rewatch. You saw some things you liked. So talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's several things that were very, pointed out from the fan base that a lot of people that don't, go into and rewatch specifically, certain positions that can get overblown. And so when Coach Jay does the same thing, when we go in and rewatch, we don't watch the ball. Like, people get drawn into watching the ball, watching the play. Well,
hold on, wait. I gotta cut you off. What do you watch live? You watch the ball live?
Yeah, I watch.
Coach Jay, do you watch the ball live?
Live?
Yes.
Sometimes. A lot, like 70% of the time. But sometimes no. I'm sure maybe Coach Rice can probably say it. Like when you watch a ton of film, you start. I don't know when I could not do this until I got to maybe in my mid 30s. So I don't know, Coach Rice. Maybe stop me. I'm not trying to say I'm better than you. I think you know a lot of stuff. But I'm trying to say, at some point, you start to be able to watch multiple things at once.
Yeah.
When you watch film, and I couldn't do it.
I'm watching the ball.
I couldn't do it. I think it was 5 years. So if you're already doing it, that's awesome, dude. I couldn't do it at your age. I don't think. I could. It's hard to do, and I can't. All the time I can't do it because I get distracted.
Yeah.
But if I'm calm in the moment, I can kind of watch multiple things rather than just ball.
It's particularly when I can do it when I'm in the room by myself watching the game.
Right.
I noticeably pick up a few things as the game's going on. But now if I'm with a crew or whoever, then a lot of times I'm just watching the game. But
is there a little mentorship developing here? Is there a little is Coach Jay trying to become a mentor?
No, stop.
For Coach Rice? Wait, I mean, you mentioned his age. I mean, I heard was I heard Coach Rice when I was your age.
Apprenticeship, man.
I was this young, wild, fiery kid, and I didn't have the intelligence. I didn't have the brain cells.
Off the rails.
Where I could sit down and I could watch the linebackers, the offensive line.
Diver, get your boy. Diver, get your boy.
All I could do was watch the ball.
I've never had a mute button. He won't give me one.
I remember back in those days. I was young, dumb, and I was full of.
Oh man.
All right, back to Oklahoma.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Hey, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. Let's go.
No,
Wait, one thing real quick before you go. One thing I will say.
One more thing.
I have noticed though, because I've talked to a lot of coaches about this actually. I have noticed that offensive coaches tend to be better at this than defensive coaches.
Oh my gosh, I should have kept the
Well,
song.
it's because
playing.
we're always we're trying to. Which I mean, it goes both ways. We're trying to decipher what the other team's doing to try to defeat what we're trying to do. So it goes both ways. But getting back to the Oklahoma game, where the offensive line, we see and we obviously think they struggled, especially in pass protection. The run blocking, they were doing certain things. I don't know if you go back and if you ever get a chance to rewatch the film, they packed the box and brought the safeties down majority of the night. Like it not, getting into the play, the safeties come straight down. And that's the reason why during the post game, me and Coach Jay's like, I wonder why they didn't get to, the across the middle a lot, hitting the Dante Thornton type plays more often. After seeing the rewatch, it's all because of the pass protection. You get into it and you see the film breakdown of what you're watching. You had two main guys play offensive tackle during that game. You had Larry Johnson the third and Dane Davis. John Campbell played, a little bit, got hurt, tried to come back in. He wasn't up to par, so they said, you just take the rest of the game off. We're going to go with someone that can, give us 100%. And so Larry Johnson plays left tackle. Dane Davis plays right tackle the rest of the game. Well, even when Dane Davis was playing left tackle, dude was struggling. Dane Davis struggles with speed. You get someone with speed on the edge, that's the kryptonite for Dane Davis. It's just he's great at times in run blocking, and someone that's like a Dom Bailey-esque type pass rusher that's not just super quick, tries to beat you with certain other things. He can do good things there, but Dane Davis obviously struggles with pass protection, and Larry Johnson, he has all the criteria to be a good offensive tackle, but he's still new to the game, new to the thing, still young, so he's growing. But where Larry Johnson made his impact, and there's been several people, I know Craig talked about earlier, his run blocking was the highest run blocking PFF and in film, going back and rewatching it. He was our best run blocker in the game Saturday night over Cooper Mays, over Javonte Sprague. It's crazy to think that it gets all of this blame, but Larry Johnson was our best run blocker. And what were we doing the whole second half? We were leaning on the run, trusting our defense. And so I'm thinking here, maybe Larry Johnson needs to be our third tackle. Yes, you love that experience with Dane Davis. You love it. He's that swing guy that can play multiple positions. But Larry Johnson, he's got more potential. He's younger, and he's shown against higher competition he could be a great run blocker. Well, getting to my final point, when Larry Johnson's in the game, there's a noticeable difference of where we ran the ball to. Well, Larry Johnson, I think, deserves to be that third guy, and Dane Davis needs to really take a step back and identify, which, he's a 6-year senior. He's not going to be able to just, change a lot because there's only so much growth you can do. But I think when Hurd and Campbell gets back, and hopefully they do, that Larry Johnson will be the first one in because he did make get those massive reps in that game and show that even though he's not the best pass protector, he can work on that pass set because he's just a sophomore and keep trying to improve, but use what his strength is. What does this team do very well? And Larry Johnson, kicking out those dart plays, those trap plays where the tackle pulls, use those advantages. And where I think Larry Johnson and Hurd and John Campbell can really help improve this team moving forward, as long as Hurd and Campbell are healthy. Let Johnson, get some time when, they need a rotation and, a breather on a certain single series or something. Let Johnson get in there. And because I'm tired of seeing the Dane Davis blow-bys and getting Nico killed. I don't know. I'm pretty sure everyone else in the fan base is, but he's going to get someone hurt. and it's turnover after turnover because both of them were on him and the running back during those strip fumbles.
Coach Jay, do you have tie a big fat bow on Oklahoma for us?
It was a good win, man. At the end of the day, it was a good win. Nothing's ever perfect, man. I know people wanted more out of the offense, so does everybody, but it was honestly a great win, man. X was talking about the Players Lounge a little bit ago. Jackson Moy and Big O were on there.
Dude, they graded themselves as Cathedral Kid. I didn't know. Did you tell me that?
Different cathedral.
I heard him say that, and I was like, whoa.
There's a Cathedral Catholic in San Diego Southern Section. There's a Cathedral High School in Los Angeles, which is the cathedral that you know, and then there is a Cathedral Archbishop in Northern Cal. So there's actually three cathedrals, all good.
I was wondering how I missed that. If it was your
high school
cathedral,
high school programs. But no, Jackson.
No reason.
Yeah. No, you're okay. But if you watch that show, they ask Jackson and Big O to grade. You know, they talk about how great of a game they thought it was for them. They asked them to grade it. I think they gave themselves a B- in that game. And if they gave themselves a B-, shoot, man, I want to see an A+. Because that would be scary.
And Big O even said too, like when they scored, he said that shot our confidence down. Like not totally, but he said it just kind of hurt us because he said we don't want nobody to score. And I was like, dang, trying to shut out everybody.
Yeah, that's scary. So listen, this idea of, I want perfection. Perfection's important to struggle for. I think in life, to understand that you are going to fail chasing perfection, and it is okay to fail and to bite down and get back up and fight hard when it does happen. It's that old adage, two things can be true, right? So we need to learn from this. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, Coach, because like talking about perfection and frustrating stuff, like you seen when Nico, it was towards the end of the second half of the game, you seen where he came down and he sat back on the bench, and you could just see he was just frustrated, just so frustrated.
I heard a rumor. I heard a rumor that the team was frustrated.
You can't say that.
That's
anymore.
all I said. That's all I said.
You can't say that anymore, bro. You can't say that anymore.
All right, I'll shut up.
You can't send me text messages and then say that on air because I'm gonna lose it.
I'll shut up. But yeah, so I think the whole team wanted more, and it's good to be hungry, right? It's good to be hungry out there. It's good to be hungry, and I want them to be hungry. Man, it'd be great to watch them just come out and shellac Arkansas because they're not satisfied, right? Because they want it. Let's put a performance together. Let's have the defense come out there, look even better than they did in Oklahoma, and let's have Nico go out there and catch fire and really put it on them, man. I think we'd all love to see it. I think there is something to this, and I had this thought earlier when you guys were talking. I can remember watching, I went to a homecoming game in Nico's last year. Hype was there. Halsey was there. Nico put in like 7 touchdowns in like 11 minutes, something like that. And then in the third quarter, he came out for a series and he threw an interception. And all of a sudden it was like, oh, what's wrong with Nico? Well, he just put up like 54 points in 11 minutes. Nothing's wrong with Nico. Sometimes when something looks so easy and perfect and everything's so pristine, it makes the ugly, there's greater contrast.
It magnifies it.
Yeah, it magnifies it and makes it more noticeable to us. And I think we all kind of just need to be aware of that in some kind of way. And it's true for me. I need to be aware of it. Everyone needs to be aware of it. And it's a good problem to have, guys. We've got good problems to have as a Tennessee fan base right now. And Boogie is right. We need to smell the roses, man, because we got a lot of flowers right now. That's all. So that's the bow for now.
Here's the thing. We go out the first 3 games. You light it up. They run out of fireworks in Neyland, scoring points left and right. And then you put up 25. And everybody's like, what happened? you went on the road to a top 15 opponent and you played a solid game. I think none of us would argue that there have been things from each game that this team needs to work on and improve and get better. And that's like Coach Heupel said post-game. That's just us being us. We got to keep going. We got to keep pushing, got to keep getting better. And I think that's the mentality. And I think if you've never played sports, if you've never been around people, sometimes it's easier to throw out those, aspersions and big grand comments, and you don't really quite grasp there's a flow to a game, and especially football. It's all about momentum. It's one of those things that I think, like I said, Coach Heupel is growing as a coach, and he saw how this game was going, and he dictated, this Tennessee team dictated the game from start to finish and did what they had to do.
It is easy to sit dude, look, you don't think on Saturday night I'm like, come on, why are we not scoring? But then, like, the hardest thing we do, and everybody on this panel has been here, you done it, is a post-game show. Because you are full of so much emotion. You have strong opinions coming out of a game. You got to pump the brakes, and you got to look at what reality is. And what does it matter? Just win the dang game, man.
And to add on to that, I got one more thing. Even this, look at this.
Oh my gosh! Now he's saying Dauber's quote, and then he's screen sharing like Dauber.
Exactly.
Hey, I know how to do it now.
But guys, look, see that viewership right there? 6.3 million viewers for us on these late primetime games. And guess what? The Arkansas game. Guess what? Another primetime game. So guys, this also shows, like we all said it earlier, we're not used to being on this big of a national media. I mean, we were a little bit, back in the 2020 season when we beat, Alabama. That was the game of the year. I get that. But now that we actually have a team on both sides of the ball, man, there's a lot of eyes noticing us, man. And like Coach said, man, it's a great time to be a Tennessee Volunteer. And like I said, man, look, we got our flowers, man. Enjoy the roses.
Yeah. Hey, Coach Prime's playing at 12:30 noon. Not no primetime game.
Right. Yeah.
Coach Prime. What are we gonna do with him? Anyway,
I really wanted to do a watch party Saturday, and I'm like,
yeah,
I see my family twice a week at night. That's it, twice a week.
Season, yeah.
Could there be a way both teams lose? I mean, I'm just
let's hop into that. Who? Because I said this in the video I made today. Everybody's like, Boogie, who do you want to win? Neither team. Who would be better for Tennessee to in the long run? A win by who, Coach Rice? Georgia or Alabama?
It's Georgia.
I think so too.
If we want to get to the SEC championship, realistically, it's Georgia.
I think so too, because I think we've got more of a realistic shot at beating Bama. Now you put 2 losses on them. Tennessee, man, but listen to that Colin Cowherd clip. Like he thinks Alabama and Georgia are out. He thinks it's like Tennessee, Texas for the SEC championship.
Well, and a lot of Kirk Herbstreit even a couple weeks ago even said on game day, he said, I could see Tennessee Tech, or it may not have been Hershey. It was someone on game day said, I could see Tennessee, Texas being in the SEC championship. And it's the fact of how the schedules play out, because Georgia and Texas have to play. And, Georgia and Bama are playing this week. Of course, Tennessee plays Bama. So the way the schedules play out, the odds actually do, FPI-wise, Tennessee has a higher chance than Georgia right now to make the SEC championship. So,
it's so crazy. I love those numbers, though. I love those numbers.
Based off of schedules, it's just that's the way they play out. And in some cases, Tennessee has a higher probability than Georgia and Bama.
I have so many things I want to still talk about. We're an hour and a half in. I'm like, I was going to let the chat vote. What do you want to talk about next, recruiting or the rest of the schedule? And I'm like, I can't. We're an hour and a half in. I'm going to treat this like a Tuesday night. I'm going to read these last 7 super chats, and then we're going to call it a night. If somebody does something stupid and drops a $200 super chat, we'll keep going live. Otherwise, we're wrapping it. And if anybody wants to leave, y'all can leave, and I'll do it by myself. But if y'all want us to stay live, $200 super chat will stay live. If not, we'll call it a night. Because I told my wife, I'm like, it's the bye week. It's the bye week. It'll be an hour. She's like,
yeah,
no.
5.
No, it won't.
She's like,
No.
She's
Yeah.
like, there's
No
5
way.
of you idiots. She's like, it's going to be way worse than normal. Way worse. 5 of you
We didn't even
idiots.
talk gambling yet, Coach.
We've not talked gambling. We've not talked Cruton. We've not talked nothing. I had the entire Heupel press conference pulled up ready to go. Like, y'all, it's good. It's a good problem to have. Will Dyer for 10 says, here's some more money. I feel better now. Y'all the only ones I can talk Vols with, and I got it all out. Smash Arkansas. That's what we're here for, man. I love
Big Orange.
you concern me. You started cussing at me. Don't pull a Coach Rice. Coach Rice disagrees with somebody on Twitter, and it goes from, well, this is what I think, to go F yourself. We gotta get Coach Rice to use better social media discipline. We're going to talk to him about that. We'll dial him in.
Facebook, I'm fine, but Twitter,
you're a nightmare. I was going to use one of your tweets for a video, but I couldn't because it was laced with profanity. So I just gave them the gist of what you said. It's just the reality of the situation. Kenneth Gordon for 5 has been here since the 30 to 40 guys on a good night. LOL. He says, lol. Butch and Jeremy years were tough. Enjoying what I'm seeing, GPO. It's a grind, man. Look, YouTube is not a quick fix. You can't see what somebody else is doing and come in and copy it and think you're going to skyrocket. That ain't how it works. It's got to be authentic. It's got to be genuine, and you got to put in the freaking work, man. You got to put in the work. So we've come a long way, Dauber. We've come a long way from those 30 to 40 people watching. I'm talking like Alabama week, 30 to 40 people watching.
Yeah.
Now I got more than that watching me act like an idiot, play video games.
It's been a hell of a ride.
In the sky is the limit. Just becomes a member of the channel. We appreciate that. Tyler Steele for 2. Whatever happened to Gabe? Young Gabe was tweeting. And I'm like, young Gabe, when you used to come on this show, you would tweet about Tennessee and a bunch of people would retweet it and engage. And now nobody's responding to you. Nobody's retweeting you, Gabe. Come back home. Come back home, lost son. Come back home. I texted him a couple of times, or messaged him a couple of times. I was like, hey, why don't you come back on? Okay. And then, sorry, Boogie, I can't make it. You do that to me a handful of times.
I say your dad up here is wondering where you're at.
The long lost son. I don't know that he's ever going to come back. I like Gabe, though. Gabe's a good dude. Bill Hamilton for 5. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Doc. I got to come see you. Doc Hamilton. My back's in bad shape. I've been moving. Canceled my appointment. That's my chiropractor. He keeps me right. He keeps me right. When you sit in this chair all day, you got to have somebody to get you right. Knoxville Buckeye for 200 pennies. I'll give that to Coach Rice. I'll give the 200 pennies to Coach Rice. There you go, Coach Rice. Big Trey for 20. That's Orange Boy. Let's play the clip.
Rocky Top!
I don't know if I want to read this. Let's see where this goes. Boogie, you aren't just fire. The way you go to bat and have built a legit community is insane. We just saw Morgan Wallen and our guys have a better walkout than the Swifties, man. And Mahomes, we are on another level. Not just back. Dude, that was big. We talked about that. Me and Kaner talked about that Monday morning, how big that was. Big Trey drops another 2, says Dauber's son is his name. I miss Texas Gabe here. I miss Gabe too, man. Gabe was fun. I wish he would come back, but he won't. Timothy McGee for 10, less option routes, more slants. 5 to 10 yard passes to keep your tight end on the line. Quit spreading them out. This is Timothy's. This is his 2024 version of less option routes, more timing routes. Is stop spreading out so wide. Get your tight ends in the box and let's block with them. He says specifically if your first string tackles are out. Keep being you, Timothy. We love you, brother. Timothy came to the tailgate. Got to meet him face to face. That was awesome. Michelle drops a 20 spot. We'll play the clip.
Rocky Top!
She tries to keep it PG-13. Michelle says, don't let the boo sheet. See how you can do that, Coach Rice? I want you to start using this in your tweets.
There you go.
I want you to start telling people, keep that boo sheet out of here. And then,
that's all I can say.
And then tag me and see what they say. She says, GBO, thank you, Michelle. We appreciate you. We appreciate all you guys hanging out. I know this is a fun show. I think y'all always enjoy it when I lose my mind and scream at people.
The bad thing is it's not even about the balls most of the time.
It's about the chat. No, it is about the balls, man. I want people to
UNLV.
Exit. What I go off about.
Oh, I know. Yeah, your politics.
Oh,
Your
yeah.
politics are what normally sets you off.
Politics.
Yeah.
But you cussed somebody out over uniforms, the orange helmets. You told somebody to F off. I'm like, Coach Rice, this is irregular. Like, I recognize the name. I'm like, Coach Rice telling this guy to go F himself over orange helmets. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing, Coach Rice?
Coach, as long as we're winning, man, I don't care what the color of the helmets are. As long as we're winning.
That's
as
right.
long as the power T's on the side.
You can cuss everybody out over politics. Everybody. I'm with you on that. Go ahead. You can do it for me. I'll just pretend to be neutral. I'll pretend to be neutral and not say anything on air.
I'll keep it G-rated on Tennessee.
On football. Okay.
Yeah.
I told my wife, I was like, we try to keep it PG-13. Damn, hell, ass. That's good. S-bombs, F-bombs, let's keep that off the channel. She's
My
like,
bad.
that's the stupidest rules I've ever heard.
My bad.
She's like, you say stuff. I'm like, I don't say F-bombs.
No.
Maybe occasionally on a Tuesday night when I'm angry. John Mills for 5 says, yeah, if I'm winning, I'm all sunshine and rainbows. If I'm losing,
in the wind. Wind.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we are off the rails. I was a sergeant major in the Army and was told that I was a good motivator. That video is a master class in leadership. Exactly. I agree, John. That's why I keep showing it, man. I keep showing it because
And thank you for your service too.
shows true leadership. All right, we out the door. No Friday morning stream. Good luck to Coach Jay. Going to be up in the box this weekend, coaching a little football. I'm excited for him. I'm excited about the future that y'all don't know about, but I'm waiting to see what happens with Coach Jay. I'm excited about it because I know you want it. So for Coach Jay, for Coach Rice, for Dauber, for the X Factor, my name's Boogie Bentley. We'll be back Sunday night, 7 p.m. fan call-in show, and we'll dive full steam ahead into this Arkansas game. Videos coming between that. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
That we call